WWF In Your House 12. It's time. It's time. It's time. It is. It is not Vader time. Not on this show. I think the plan, I think it was, supposed to be Vader time, but time ran out. That's something. It's fake Diesel time. It's fake Razor time. It's Executioner time. That's a match that happens here. Terry Gordy. He's wet. Gets thrown into an ocean or something on this show. Flash Funk is wearing go-go boots. There's a lot of wackiness on this show. We got a lot to get into. So you stick your pants right there. Right here. On the Apron Bump podcast.
It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what heart is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock this. Let's get it started.
What is up? Oh, that was so loud. I just yelled for no reason. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Apron Bump podcast. I am your host, the hardest part of the ring, Powerbird. A lovely, lovely, hot and humid day here in Virginia. Just sticky, wet, and just like my pants. But yep, come joke when we're 5 seconds into the show. We got In Your House 12 to talk about today. A little ditty provided to us by the World Wrestling Federation. We are here in December of 96. This is the last WWF pay-per-view of the year, and boy howdy, what a year it's been. Speaking of the year of 1996, make sure you stick around to the end of the episode, where the hardest promotion battle of 1996 continues, where we compare WWF, WCW, and ECW. We compare each promotion against each other. We look at what the best of the year, the worst of the year, matches, in-ring, out-of-ring, all of that stuff. There's a whole scoring system and a scoreboard and a spreadsheet. So you stick around. If you like spreadsheets, you're a friend of mine. Stick around to the end of the episode where this battle will continue. Based off of this show, we'll see if this show gave us any of the best or the worst or what have you. As of right now, WWF is in the lead with 13 points. WCW following them up with 5. ECW in last place with 4 points. We're reaching the end of the year. The finale is approaching, so make sure you're following your boy on all the social medias at Apron Bump on everything to keep yourself abreast of all of the hubbub, all of the fracas that is happening in the world of the Apron Bump. Oh, also join the Discord while I'm just plugging stuff. Join the Discord. Link is in the description. We have a good old time in there. We talk current, we talk retro wrestling, we talk other stuff. Just some wrestling fans pulling each other's puds. That's really all you can ask for. But we're not here to talk about puds. We're here to talk about duds, which is what this show. This wasn't a bad show. We'll get into it. I think this is one of the weaker WWF shows of the year. I mean, the main event, you got Bret Hart versus Sid, which, whatever. Hunter Hearst Helmsley is defending the Intercontinental Championship against Mark Marrow. That's fine, I guess. Kind of a dumb finish. But outside of that, we got fake Diesel and fake Razor teaming up to go after the tag team championships. That's a thing. We got an Armageddon match between The Undertaker and the Executioner. What's an Armageddon match, you ask? Well, you're just going to have to stay tuned, and we'll put that into your ears, what this fantastical match was. We got Flash Funk making his singles debut here against Leif Cassidy. So it's just chock full of star power, basically, is what I'm saying here. So speaking of star power, you know who's a star? It's my guest. Katie from the ShElite Showcase joins me, returns to the show to talk some WWF from the new generation. You can go check out Katie as well as her co-host Savannah on the ShElite Showcase live, typically on Thursday evenings. Make sure to follow Katie on the social media. All of this stuff will be in the description. She'll let you know if the show happens on any other dates. But the ShElite Showcase is a great weekly wrestling podcast. They talk about all the current hubbub and all the scuttlebutt going on in wrestling, given the female perspective on wrestling. They have a fun time. They do fun segments. They just have a hoot and a holler over there, and it's a good listen, and you should check it out wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as YouTube, Twitch, AOL streaming. I think you can find it on there, and yeah, do that. And I already told you to follow me. I think it's guys, I think it's time to get into the episode. It's time. That's what the show is called. WWF In Your House 12. It's time, with myself and Katie from the ShElite Showcase.
So, remember how I told you that I was having work done on my house?
Oh, yeah.
So, long story short, we had a vent pipe that was supposed to be on the roof that fell and crushed another pipe. So, we haven't had, like, working water for, like, a week. It's been really fun.
Fun. Well, you don't need water anyways for anything, right?
No, of course not. No.
Every
day of my entire existence. Yeah. No. So, my house is like a normal house and like a duplex on the bottom. That's where my brother lives. So I have to like go outside, down the steps, into his place if I've had to pee, which has been all week while I'm not at work. It's been terrible.
Was everything all fixed?
They started cutting holes in every part of my house, basically.
Good.
2 days ago. And then they finished cutting holes today, and the plumbers came today, so the pipes are fixed.
Right.
And restoration people are coming tomorrow to fix all of the holes that they cut.
Okay. It seems like you're on the way.
We're on the way, but it's hot as all hell. I just want to sit and take like a cold-ass shower, and I haven't been able to.
You should get a cold plunge tub.
With what money? Pretty bird.
They're not that. So I just got one. They're not that expensive. Hold on.
Doesn't say. Tell me how much.
I haven't used it yet. It's still in the box. But
I mean, it's probably just as hot, if not hotter, down there. Over there. I don't know how mountains work.
Down here. It was not too bad today. It was like 85, but
oh, lucky.
It was. Can you just let me see the thing? Okay, it was like $130. It was more than that. But it's it's 116 gallons, right? You could put water in it. You could put whatever you want in it, really, I guess. I mean, soup, chili, wine, make a jungle juice in there. I mean, it's just so functional.
Not jungle juice. No.
Oh, yeah. Throw some Burnett's and some Sprite in there. Maybe some orange slices.
I do love a good orange slice.
Do you?
Who doesn't?
What's your top 8 favorite fruits? Go.
Top 8? What the fuck?
Yeah. We got to start this off hot because we don't have a lot to talk about other than if we want to talk about Flash Funk for 45 minutes.
Hell no. Apples, oranges, grapes. Also a watermelon. Top 4.
All right. There we go. We got half.
Did you say top 8? Because
yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I do have.
Maybe the thing is, can you name 8 fruits?
A banana. I don't like bananas.
Right. Like really, you don't like bananas?
No, I'm not a big banana fan.
Is it the texture?
I'm real weird on textures.
It is a weird texture. Bananas are probably the weirdest textured food out there, so I get it.
I can eat like banana flavored stuff, like runts. Remember runts? Little banana candy.
Runts? Oh, runts. Yeah.
Runts. Yeah.
Big runts guy.
Big runts guy.
It's the first runts reference on this podcast, so congratulations.
Oh my god, thank you so much. I mean, I got mentioned enough with you and Matt, so.
Did you come up?
I came up a few times.
Whenever I do the episodes with Matt, I don't remember anything that happened when it's done because we don't talk about anything, but also everything.
You guys, it's a fucking roller coaster you guys go on. It's insane.
I mean, he's my favorite fruit. But anyways, we got...
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Happy Juneteenth, by the way, to all who...
Happy Juneteenth, yeah.
All the, I don't know, to everybody, I guess. Well, anyways, there's actually a couple tie-ins. Farooq and Ahmed Johnson might have something to say about that later, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
We'll get there.
WWF In Your House 12. It's time, Catherine. Thought? I mean, is this the first show from this era that you've seen from WWF?
I thought it wasn't, but when you told me I still had WWF to watch, I was like, oh, maybe it is.
We've done Attitude Era-ish, Ruthless Aggression, early 2000s.
Yeah, maybe that's... I mean, this was a 4-year-ish difference, so maybe that's what I was thinking of. And you maybe watch ECW. I
throw a lot at you.
WCW.
By the way, I like the picture of mid-90s wrestling that I'm painting for you. Because, WCW is just nothing but people fighting in trucks, and then ECW is pretty good, and then WWF is, I don't know, Sid's wet. So that's something.
Listen, I was a day old for... Is that what we figured out? I was a day or a week or something old for ECW. I was 5 months old-ish for this one. So we're doing great.
Okay, so you maybe could have watched this. You could have held your head up and looked at the screen.
I probably was just rolling around and just laying there.
Yeah, well,
No
that's what some of the wrestlers were doing on this card. But
yep.
but yeah, this is it's a weird one. This is a weird one. I will say it's probably one of the weaker WWF shows of this year. But
damn.
I don't know. There's some good stuff in here. In Your House, it's kind of one of the B shows, but we got some debuts here. We got seems like we're just kind of building to the Royal Rumble, which is the following month, but
that's all they talked about.
Yeah, I mean, it's who cares about it? It's time. It's not time.
1997 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we'll do a smash or pass on that one. Who knows? But so you've seen WCW, ECW, and WWF from this era. Which do you think you prefer out of the three?
Well,
it's kind of a skewed sample size, but
WCW is by far the worst. That shit was garbage that you made me watch. Thank you so much. I don't know, ECW and this, they weren't terrible.
I was about to say the ECW show, I think The Doctor Is In. I think that was probably the best one that we've talked about.
That one was a time. There was some good, a lot of bad, some in between. This one probably the same, Muscle Manas, Yeah. I feel it was. What was Too Cold Scorpio on that show? Yes.
Well, lucky for you, he's also here because we got Flash Funk versus Leaf Cassidy, aka Al Snow.
Mm-hmm.
So Leaf here. So they were doing the New Rockers. So Marty Jannetty he was teaming with, but Marty broke his foot or some shit. So now it's just Leaf, one lone Leaf floating in the breeze, and it was pre-head. So Al Snow does not have head.
Pre-head, yes.
Pre-head, no head, headless. But yeah, so Flash singles debut, nothing too crazy here. There were some fun, spots, some moonsaults and what have you. A lot of flying around, not a lot of flying around, but I guess for this era, there was some impressive stuff. But I don't know, what'd you make of this one?
So when both these people came in the ring, I was like, they both look so familiar. So I did a little bit of Googling. So I was like, who the fuck are these people? And I was like, oh my God, Too Cold Scorpio. I watched him not that long ago. Because ECW. Crazy. Who would have thought? And I was like, Leaf Cassidy. What a weird name. But I was like, this guy's face looks familiar. And I was like, holy fuck, it's Al Snow. Pre-head.
Right. It's definitely
Jedi braid ponytail and all.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions about the aesthetics here. Let's first of all, Flash Funk. I mean, what are we doing? Well, what are the boots? They're like the big I feel like some girls nowadays wear them where they're like huge. They go up to the knees. There's a lot of room in between the knee and the boot. It's very kind of wacky. I don't know.
They're like weird thigh highs, but like 80s go-go style thigh highs, but it didn't make sense.
It's like, is he supposed to be like a futuristic? Because he had like the one piece. He's Flash. He's Funk. It's not because like the entrance and everything. It's like very on the nose. It's like the exact same as Brodus Clay and the Funkadactyls, but here it's Flash Funk and the what are they called? The Funkadelics or something. It's like the same thing, like the exact same thing. The hat, the jacket, the cane.
Is giving Godfather if Godfather like danced.
It is giving Godfather. You're right. You're not right. You're not wrong.
Dance Revolution. You know.
If Godfather Dance Revolution. He had a lot of gimmicks. I don't know if that was one of them. Maybe it should have been.
Should have been.
It should have been. It should have been. But yeah, I mean, it was a fine. Like Leaf Cassidy was doing some high flying too. I don't know if the deal here was like, okay, yeah, Leaf, he can dive over the top rope, but Flash Funk, he can do it better because like Al Snow had to like use the first rope to get up over the top rope, whereas Flash just jumped over there, and Flash, I think both guys did moonsaults, but Flash was way higher. So there was some fine stuff here. Ultimately, Flash Funk wins with the 450 splash, which nowadays everybody and their mother's doing a 450, but I don't think anybody at WWF at this point was doing it. So it was a pretty good showing for Flash. Yeah, you're not having Yokozuna doing 450s, I don't think.
Imagine though. Just think about it.
I mean, please give it to me. Yeah. Any other nuggets on this little ditty?
No, I mean it was a nice little thing to start out with. Nothing like you said, nothing too crazy. You gotta. It's the last pay-per-view of the year. You gotta like keep things kind of chill.
Right.
It's also December. Chill out a little bit.
It's the holidays.
It's the holiday season. You gotta take it down a few notches.
Right.
Can't overshadow the main event.
That's very true. You wouldn't want Leaf Cassidy overshadowing Bret Hart.
I can't have it.
Good thing he held back. Good thing.
It's because he didn't have the head.
That's right. He'll find his head one day. He'll find his head.
Eventually.
Hey, what did you think of the commentary, by the way, on this show? Vince McMahon, Jerry Lawler, JR.
I forgot, like, obviously, like, I know Vince, like, started as, like, commentator, ring announcer. Like, I remember that. Like, I know that information. He wasn't bad on commentary. Jerry Lawler was decent. I don't remember what match it was. It was something. When we see it. Oh, no, it's the next match. JR was pissing me off.
Heel JR is so annoying. I don't need it.
It's like, they were like, oh, and special guest commentator, JR. And I And yay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Boomer sooner.
Sure? Terrible.
So Vince McMahon, like, functionally, he's an okay commentator, but this dude has no banter skills. Like, you throw a joke at him, it just sticks to him and dribbles off. Like, there's no bouncing back and forth between it. Like, there was one point in this first match where Jerry was like, because both these guys are kind of bouncing around the ring, using ropes and doing high flying moves, and Jerry Lawler is like, oh yeah, but he's like jokingly being like, yeah, back in my day, he probably learned that from me. Back when I was doing those moves, I was better at them. Obviously joking, but then Vince McMahon's like, well, hold on, Jerry. I don't believe you used those aerial tactics back in your day. Like, yeah, that's the joke.
No shit, Sherlock.
Dildo. Fuck, man, this guy. But
we gotta bring dildo back as an insult. I'm
trying. I'm doing my best. I'm calling everybody I see a dildo. So
as you should.
Speaking of dildos, we got a couple of them here.
Okay.
So you're maybe you're slightly unfamiliar with this era, maybe. Were you aware that this was not the real Diesel and Razor Ramon?
I could tell.
Because they hit it pretty well.
No. Like, whoever the fuck Razor Ramon was supposed to be did not look anything like Scott Hall. Fake Diesel had like a shitty Cher wig on. Like,
how dare you? You think that was fake hair? Was it fake hair?
I don't know. Kind of looked fake.
You do know who Fake Diesel is, though, right?
I don't think I do.
It is a mayor of Knoxville County. It's Kane.
Get
Pre-Kane.
the fuck out.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
really?
Now that you know
That's why it was so shitty.
That's it's very like the way he moves and his noises he makes. Like now that if you go back and watch it, you'll be like, oh, of course, it's fucking.
It's exactly what I would do. Go back and watch, but I think I might have to like YouTube it, not watch the full thing, because God,
you don't want to watch a fake Diesel, fake Razor match twice.
No. And that's the thing that was pissing me off about this, because JR for some reason had the biggest hard on for Fake Diesel and Fake Razor. I was like, guys, you can't fool me. Well, because Hall and
Nash,
Hall and Nash were in WCW, weren't they?
Yeah.
At this time.
Yeah, so I think I don't know, because I wasn't there. I don't know if the idea was to like, because it's like a parody. It's like, okay, I get it. Ha, they're fake guys, but they're like giving these guys a title match. So it's like, are we trying to just create? I think maybe the idea was to be like, oh, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall weren't the talent. It was just the characters that we gave them. So we can just throw any guys in these characters and they'll find success too. You know, spoiler alert, they didn't.
No.
But they're fighting for the tag team titles as a team against the team of Owen Hart and British Bulldog. And yeah, so and by the way, JR is hard on his erection. If you want me to explain his erection, it's because he, in kayfabe, well, I guess in real life, in reality, because he was talent management, he brought these guys in, Fake Razor, Fake Diesel, Fake Razor, brought those guys in, and he's like, okay. So they're his boys, basically, and he wants them to succeed. I don't know what the end game is. I don't know if JR like manages them at some point. He essentially is from the commentary desk, but nobody needs that.
No.
On the other side of the coin, Owen and Bulldog, they've been embroiled with a feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who is on the come up here. So Stone Cold was feuding with Brett. So they're kind of intertwined there. We're kind of building to the Hart Foundation, you know, Brett, Bulldog, Owen, Pillman. So they're kind of focused on them. And it's two heel teams facing each other here. Some random AAA guys come in during the match. This is pretty shitty. Okay. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm glad you brought that up, because what in the fuck? You have these two dudes from AAA, and they say it on commentary. They're like, I don't remember what the names were.
It is, I had to Google it to remember. It was Cybernetico and Puroth.
Yeah, them. You just had them like walk through the door, because you know it's in your house. You know they had to come to the door or whatever, right. And respectful.
No doorbell
their
though.
Feet. Yeah, no doorbell. They did they did like the secret knock, and they knew. So like they're like, it's fine.
That's a good point.
But then you have them stand there. One ripped his shirt off
for no reason.
They were out there for a minute and a half, possibly 2 minutes if we're being generous, just looking stupid. And then they were like, I gotta go.
Like, what? It was like even before the match started, I think. So it's like, what? It'd be one thing if they came out there trying to distract. Yeah. If they were like trying to distract a team to like start a feud with them. But they literally, like you said, they just came out. One guy ripped his shirt off. And then they skedaddled. It was like, what are we? You took a flight from Mexico to do that? I don't know, but
I'd be pissed as fuck. You have me fly out here, stand there, rip my shirt off, and do what? Intimidate the other teams? Get the fuck out of here!
You don't think Cybernetico is intimidating Kane? Fucking prime physical, 8 feet tall, 400 pounds Kane.
No.
You might have scared this doofy Razor, whatever this guy's name.
This Razor was ass.
I forget his name, because he popped up on an ECW show I covered too, just as himself, and then it was.
You're like, well, that's not you.
It was, not impressive there either. So,
good.
It is interesting to see the AAA kind of crossover. You know, in modern times, as we're recording this, there's a lot of, you know, the NXT and TNA and the Japan crossover, Forbidden Door, the what's the other one? The Prohibited Portal. Like, it was interesting to see, you know, 96. There was some, they were flirting with some crossover. So that was kind of fun, I thought.
Definitely caught me off guard. I was not, and again, like, just random, a AAA tag team who they, like, kind of like said something on commentary, and then they were like, oh, it's like 2 matches in one, but the one dude just like ripped their shirt off, and then they just stood on the ramp or the entranceway and did nothing. So it wasn't really like 2 matches, it was just 1 match and 2 dudes standing there menacingly.
I mean, it literally just paused the match. Like, it didn't like it didn't get involved. It was just, hey, they're here, one guy's shirtless now. All right, let's get back to having a shitty match. It just was the thing.
It's like howdy, partner.
But then, you know, after the AAA fellas leave, Stone Cold comes out, makes a bit more of an impact. He what does Steve do? He comes out there, old Steven. I think Bulldog attacks him. I think Steve just comes out and Bulldog starts fighting with him unprovoked, which I thought was very rude.
So funny. Steve Austin said shit was on site this pay-per-view. To multiple people. Yeah,
he was not having it.
He came out twice during this match, technically.
He was I think he was in the main event too. Steve was like, oh, goddamn, I'm not on the card. I'm going to be a part of the card. Here's my cat poncho, you know? So, love his cats. Love his cats.
So great.
You know, I did not love this match. But Vince on commentary is even like, oh, these, you know, the fans don't seem to care who wins because they're 2 bad guys teams. Yeah. So it's like, why would the crowd care? And I don't know. Eventually, Bulldog goes for a power slam on the Razor. Razor counters, goes for the Razor's edge, but Owens here, spin kick to fake Razor, and then Bulldog with a roll up for the win. So they retain their titles, but then Steve's back and he lays out Bulldog. So not going on. That's what I mean.
Just like on site, they're just like, yay, we win. Stone Cold out of nowhere, after already being taken to the back 20 minutes prior to this, comes out like through the fucking crowd or whatever, chop block to the knee, and then runs away.
I don't think he ran away. I think it was kind of a tactical retreat more so, you know?
Okay.
He's a
Stone
thinking
Cold
man.
Didn't run away. He power walked away.
See those? You see that vest? You see those jeans? That's not a man that runs away from things.
This is pre double knee brace, Steve, I believe.
Yeah, pre knee brace, pre neck break.
When did he break his neck? 98?
97, I believe. SummerSlam.
We're so close.
I think. Yeah, 97. So we're like 8 months away or something with the fella that was in that match. So fun foreshadowing. Yeah. We're all having fun.
And they like teased some like animosity between Owen and Bulldog for some reason.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think because Brett and Owen here still don't like each other, and they had a match on Raw leading up to this. Okay. But Brett was also feuding with Steve, and Owen and Steve kind of teamed up for a bit to a beat up on Brett on Raw, but then Bulldog's like, "Oh, you can't trust this fella," you know. You know how he talks, and there's a lot of moving pieces there. But ultimately, I think we're just building to the hearts coming together and doing Canadian things. So,
oh Canada,
oh nation, the nation of domination's here. As JR says, taking over the cyberspace of America Online. Do you ever talk to the Nation of Domination on AOL?
Katie? I was 5 months old, Kyle. No.
You didn't have an account?
No.
You weren't on AIM?
Imagine. Baby Katie doing this like a cat, like on a keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely me.
Did you have an AIM name, though, eventually?
No, by the time I started like understanding like what like I had an older brother and an older sister, so like my sister had AIM, so I would like kind of see what was happening. But by the time I was like old enough to do everything, they were like, yeah, AIM's not really a thing anymore. So here's Facebook. Yeah. I was like, great, Facebook.
Man, Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a baby. You're a baby. I forget that you're
I turned
born
28
5
next
years
month.
ago. Whoa, get the walker out. It's all
Fuck
downhill
off.
from there.
Stop. I'm already having a crisis that I'm close to 30.
It's getting closer to death. But yeah, Nation of Domination's here. They're I don't know what they're saying on the chat rooms, but
They're just
there.
bullying these people.
Really just nasty emojis they're throwing at them. I can only imagine.
A lot of thumbs down emojis, you know.
Exactly.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal out there. Well, they don't stay on the computers for long because, well, first of all, Vince McMahon's in the ring, and he's welcoming Ahmed Johnson, who has been out with an injury, a kidney injury, after getting kicked in the kidneys by Farooq. So Ahmed's out here. He's coming out here. He's saying stuff. We got the Royal Rumble coming up. I guess Ahmed Johnson and Farooq are going to have a match at that pay-per-view. And Ahmed's like, man, ever since this injury, I lost my girlfriend. I lost my car. I lost my house. But I have all you fans. Which,
like, it's a country fucking song if I've ever heard.
I feel like fans would be like the number 4 for me on that list. But I don't know. What'd you make of Ahmed Johnson here? Initial thoughts.
I don't know, like, if it was, like, Peacock or, like, just the mics, but, like, I feel like I couldn't really, like, fully hear either, like, when people were getting announced, I couldn't hear shit. And then with this, I couldn't fully hear. And mind you, I tried putting subtitles on because a bitch likes subtitles. And Peacock said, no, thank you. And didn't let me put subtitles on.
They saw Ahmed Johnson coming out. They're like, I don't know. They just put their hands up like,
I tried putting them on
mine.
from the jump, and they said, no. I got like one like thing from commentary on subtitles, and then they didn't work. And I was like, this is disrespectful.
I don't know. Well, Vince on commentary, I think he mentioned a few times that they were having like transmission issues during the show, which I noticed that too. The sound was a bit wonky at certain points. Commentary felt off. It's like they were figuring out sound and all that stuff. But yeah, the sound was a bit
plugging things in and
blowing in them, putting them back in, like that whole deal.
A good game cartridge. Hell yeah.
Yeah. But then Farooq comes out or comes through the crowd. The whole Nation of Domination. So Farooq, the fuck are their names? So there's Crush. Who else is out there? The 2 rappers. I forget what their name. Peachy 13, I think their name is. I don't know. What? But Farooq, he's yelling at Ahmed from the rafters. Basically, he says some very unsavory things towards Ahmed Johnson. I think he calls him an Uncle Tom at some point.
He does.
Says something. Farooq says something about like, I'm going to create my own race, so I'm not the same one as you, or something like that. It was very
which is wild.
It's crazy. 96, like, man, what a time.
That's a wild statement to be saying, Farooq. Damn.
It was, man. I mean, we're not even really in the Attitude Era yet, but man, we are dipping our toes in there.
They're trying.
Gee whiz. Happy Juneteenth. But yeah, then Ahmed's like, or something like that. Gets a "you're going down" chant from the crowd, which the crowd obliges. The crowd loves this Ahmed Johnson, and he's a charismatic bloke, whatever he's saying. So,
I mean, "you're going down" is such a choice of a chant.
It's pretty cool, right?
You're going down. It's like a bunch of like fucking middle schoolers like around a fight happening. Like that's the vibe it gave.
I feel like people don't say "you're going down" anymore. We need to bring that back. That and dildo we need to bring back.
Start calling everyone a dildo. You're going down.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, say it like that too. You gotta have some gravel in your voice.
Finger points. Bring back the finger point too. Finger guns need to come back too. I feel like you don't see a lot of those anymore.
Bang bang.
Speaking of bang bang, we got some bang bang shrimp here. We got Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Oh yeah.
Defending his Intercontinental Championship against Mark Marrow with Sable by his side. I mean, probably the match of the night, I would say. I don't know. Do you agree, disagree?
I can agree with that.
Not too shabby, not too shabby. Baby fit,
Pretty good.
young, fresh face Hunter Hearst Helmsley with Marcus Merrow on the other side to Intercontinental Championship, the working man's title. I mean,
yeah,
they're fighting over Sable, I think, because Triple E or Hunter Hearst Helmsley came in
careful, different people.
With Sable as his valet, and then Mark Merrow stole her from him. It was a silly backstory.
Bullshit.
Goes back to WrestleMania. That was fucking 7 months before this. It's at some point get over it, But I guess they're still fighting for the IC title, so it's fine. But yeah, I thought it was fun. It's probably the maybe the most high energy match of the card. You got Frankensteiners, you got tilt-a-whirl backbreakers and moonsaults and ref bumps. Earl Hebner getting a little beefy with trips here, but I thought it was fun. What'd you think about it?
The ref bumps were insane. Triple H, I'm sorry, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. The balls on this man. Consistently assaulting a referee, not just once, many a time during your match. But it's also the smart heel thing to do. You're the champion, you get disqualified, you win. Technically, you keep your title.
Cerebral assassin.
It was we didn't even talk about Goldust coming out.
Oh yeah. Oh, Goldilocks, Goldust,
which I've seen enough Dustin Rhodes in every variation.
You've seen the whole journey.
I've seen it all. I've seen King of the Road. I've seen Goldust. I've seen The Natural. I've seen it all.
Will they call him The Natural? Shut the fuck up, Justin Roberts.
That was pretty good, Justin Roberts. You did pretty good.
Will they call? All right. Yeah, Goldie's out here. So I don't know if it happened in this match or if it was leading up on one of the Raws or something, but I guess Triple H was getting a little fresh with Marlena, who is the dame of Goldust.
I was like, I don't know what that is.
Marlena, otherwise known as Terry Runnels, you may know her as.
Oh, okay. So I know.
Yes, big old hooters on Marlena. But she was not here, I don't think. I mean, Goldust was all business. No wig, no glitter. Well, maybe some glitter.
Always glitter. It's Pride Month. Always glitter.
Yeah, but it was on site with him, as was Stone Cold. Goldust
on site for everybody this fucking pay-per-view. My God.
I mean, it's just chaos. By God.
He attacked everybody. He didn't just attack Helmsley. He attacked Merrow too. You just want. What was the game plan here, Dusty? Baby Dusty.
He goes both ways. So he attacks everybody. He attacks both people.
I get it.
But yeah, we get the Earl Hebner and Triple H. They would have beef for years,
ever.
Into the 2000s. They didn't like each other, so it was funny to see them even early on. I think at one point Triple H has a chair and he's trying to hit Merrow, and then Hebner grabs the chair and Triple H is like, oh. Sounds just like Ahmed Johnson. He does. It's crazy.
Crazy. I didn't realize everybody sounded the same.
It's in the 90s, everybody was kind of the same person, I think.
Yeah.
The match is underway. Mark Merrow hits a Frankensteiner from the top rope, goes for his shooting star press, but Triple H shoves Earl Hebner into the ropes to knock him off.
Of course.
Merrow with a beautiful looking moonsault. He bounces on the top rope, spins around and hits it. So some good stuff from old Marvelous Mark here. But when does Earl get knocked out? So yeah, Merrow goes for a clothesline, but I think Triple H ducks. Then Merrow hits the ref. He rolls up Triple H at some point. The ref kind of gets awake. He counts to 2. Then he kicks out, and then Earl falls asleep again. And this is when Goldust comes out. He lays out both guys, like you said. He takes the IC belt, clocks them both. And ultimately, Mark Merrow is able to get back in the ring, but Triple H does not. So Mark Merrow wins by countout, but Triple H retains the Intercontinental title. But Mero hits him with the wild thing, which is what he calls the shooting star press. Afterwards, which theoretically sends the crowd home happy, or doesn't send them home. Well, maybe send some people
I
home.
was like, there's two.
Well, that's all I needed. Let's skedaddle.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, folks.
But yeah, there was some interesting stuff here, but the finish was a little goofy.
Yeah, and then Goldust came back out and started beating the shit out of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, like in the walkway. It was a time.
Don't talk to his lady. Don't talk to Dustin's lady.
I guess not. I mean, but like, are you talking to her, Goldust? Because like, she can be in better hands, probably.
It's a lot of heavy breathing in her ear more than talking, I think. But
like that.
You know, Goldust.
Most women, if not all women, do not like that on a daily basis, just like in everyday life.
Just out of context, just like in the kitchen, like, how are you? Do you need any help? Do you want me to take out the trash?
No, I would need a divorce.
Well, anyways.
I hope everyone enjoys listening to that.
Do you ever think about how much saliva is on the microphone?
Well, I have my guard here. So.
All right, but there's got to be saliva on the guard, no?
I mean, probably. I'm very passionate when I speak sometimes.
Right. Maybe it's moisture wicking. You know who else is moisture wicking? You know who else gets rid of all that moisture is Doc Hendricks, who is backstage, otherwise known as Michael P.S. Hayes. He's back there. He's interviewing Sid, who's going to be defending his WWF title in the main event. We go back to earlier today, where there was quite a fracas in front of the arena. Shawn Michaels attacks Sid, before the show's happening, because Sid took the title away from Shawn. Sid beat up Jose Lothario, who was Shawn's trainer. And so Shawn and Sid are fighting, but then Brett comes in to help out because Brett doesn't like Shawn. So Brett's beating up Shawn, but then Sid's like, hey, mind your business, mind your beeswax, Brett. So Sid attacks Brett. So it's just a three-way fracas, really.
Three-way fracas. That's what this whole pay-per-view should have been called.
It should have been. It would have been better than It's Time.
It's three-way fracas.
By the way, the show's called It's Time, which is Vader's catchphrase, and Vader ain't even on the fucking card, which is very silly.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until now, but I was like, yeah, like, it's time. It's Vader time. Yeah, like, I know that. But then I was like, huh.
So,
well, that's a missed opportunity.
So the story goes, I think the initial plan was for Vader to essentially be in Sid's spot here. But I guess Shawn didn't like working with Vader, and so that's the whole thing. But I guess they had posters. 90
Shawn.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Prick.
We got prime prick Shawn here later in the show, but
prime dildo Shawn? Come on.
He is a 12-inch dildo. Is that a big dildo? I don't know. I'm not in the dildo market.
I'm pretty sure there are like tentacle fucking dildos. Like, I think anything could be a dildo if you're brave enough.
Tentacle dildo. Let's see here. Amazon. What? Oh, hold on. Let me.
I can't wait.
How do we do this? Okay, do that. Do a little bit of that. Not the cold plunge.
Not the cold plunge.
Look at these.
Yeah.
I mean,
those are real. People buy those
on Amazon. I mean, $20 you can have a tentacle. I gotta know what the reviews are for this. Well, 4.4 stars. I mean, that's not bad.
8.7 inches.
I mean, medium and large. Okay. Black, lava, colorful.
Lava, come on.
Let me get that lava dildo. Okay, we don't need to. All right, that's enough of that. I need to. I'm not gonna bookmark that.
Definitely bookmarked it.
Well, let's get me all hot and bothered for this Armageddon Rules match. Armageddon Rules. The Executioner versus The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy. Armageddon Rules. What's your favorite Armageddon Rules match there, Katie?
I didn't know. I know Armageddon was a pay-per-view.
It's also a
I know
movie.
that. A movie, yes. Probably the name of like a band.
Oh yeah, probably.
If not, missed opportunity right there. Like that's a rock band if I've ever heard it. This was basically just like a no DQ.
So it was like, yeah, it was like basically a no DQ match, but also kind of a last man standing match.
Oh yeah, because like, what, you had to pin your opponent and then they had to stay down. Like,
Which
what
is
in the fuck?
So that's kind of like a Texas death match. That's generally what that is. I've seen a few of them in ACW, and I think AEW's done a few of them. Maybe
done a few, and people got mad because they didn't do it right.
I think they like flip flop with the rules. So yeah, like you said, it's a last man standing match, but you have to get a fall on the guy before the ref starts counting. But there was only one fall in this match, so it's like, why not just make it a no DQ match? I don't know.
Like, this was like, where is my 3 stages of hell? Like, that's the shit I want. I don't want this bullshit. 3 stages of hell, Taker and the Executioner in 3 stages of hell. Come on, it writes itself.
What would the 3 stages be?
Steel cage. No, you gotta end it with a Hell in a Cell always.
Okay.
Always end it with a Hell in a Cell. You can have the first one just straight up be like a no DQ. Like, fuck around a little. Second one can be like a first blood. Because everyone loves blood.
But what if you get bloody in the first match?
Well, boy howdy.
You just gotta bleed again.
You just gotta bleed again. Bleed a little harder next time, guys. Yeah,
what if a first blood match, instead of the first person to bleed, you have to like make them bleed a certain amount? You know, like in some reality shows, you gotta like fill up a certain, like a flask up to. Do you watch Big Brother by any chance?
I watched The Challenge, so like Big Brother adjacent. Yeah. But like, see, I thought Saw, and like one of the traps you have to put a certain amount of like body fat in a thing in order to be saved.
I like that thought.
I like horror movies.
I mean,
like one chick cuts her fucking arm off to like get the right amount of weight needed to free yourself.
Arm, I guess, yeah.
Like that's what the second. Okay, so the first stage of the 3 stages of hell, it's like normal, no DQ, whatever. Second stage, you have to cut a body part off of your opponent.
Okay.
The third stage, Hell in a Cell.
So after that, we keep going. Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, you have to 3 stages, Kyle.
So you could theoretically win the match, but be sans a body part.
Yeah. I didn't like. It could just be a finger. Like, it doesn't have to be like a whole arm or leg. Or an ear. People get ears ripped off all the time.
You know, it does sound ridiculous, but they did have a match where you had to take out the person's eye to win. So I guess it's not that far-fetched.
Fuck? No way.
That was the Seth Rollins Rey Mysterio match. Right, wasn't that the thing? You have to, what was it called? Eye for an eye match or something?
Oh. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I talk about.
COVID was a weird time.
COVID was a weird time. So was this match.
Yeah, the Executioner is here. Terry Gordy, which I don't know if you're familiar with him. I don't know if he was on the ECW show we talked about, but he did a little stint there. He was a fabulous Freebird. He was big in the early days.
I knew of him. I don't think I ever watched anything with him, but I knew of him.
Well, don't let this be your representation of Terry Gordy, because this is definitely the tail end of his career here as the Executioner. I mean, we got Undertaker and Mankind. Their feud still going on. Mm-hmm. Paul Bearer turned on Undertaker, aligned with Mankind, and the Executioner is kind of like a hired assassin from Paul Bearer, so they got a little faction going on there.
Got it.
So Taker and Executioner going at it, and I mean, Execution, his look here. I mean, the mask. It's like he didn't have a Halloween costume, so he had to just like kind of use what he had around the house to like make one. It was
It looked like the executioner type person from Shrek. That's all I got.
So I guess he nailed it. Put it that way. Yeah, it's just a lot of brawling. They fight on the outside. They fight to the stage. Somebody gets thrown through. Was it Mankind? Because Mankind comes out at some point. It becomes a handicap match.
Yeah.
Old Mitchard gets thrown through the stage. And they start tearing that. They bring the house down. Yeah, they really brought the house down with this one.
Yeah, no, they said it on commentary too. They're like, "Oh, they're bringing the house down." Fuck up, JR. Oh no, they're tearing the house down. I even wrote that down. Tearing the house down.
Right. All right. They blew the roof off that place.
The roof was non-existent in the first place.
Yeah, there was no roof.
There was no roof. They busted down the door. That's what they did.
They did. I thought they were going to push down the whole thing, which that probably would have killed a bunch of people. But unfortunately, that did not happen.
Listen, I was at a wrestling show on Sunday, and it was a steel cage match, and they were taking apart the steel cage, and the cage, one part just fell out of the audience.
Damn.
So, like, everyone was fine.
Right.
To my knowledge. But, like,
right.
But did you die? You know, like, that would have been, like, the sentiment of if the house was taken apart fully and possibly may or may not have fallen on people. It was the 90s. Nobody probably gave a fuck. They were probably like, what?
Houses fall on people all the time. I mean, what are we? It's Armageddon Rules. What'd you expect?
Screws fall out all the time. The world's an imperfect place.
Exactly. Screws fall out. Is it?
Yeah.
Who says that?
Bender.
Screws fall out.
Because when they shut the door, like towards the beginning of the movie, and he's like, "Screw fell out."
Oh yeah.
Screws fall out all the time. The world's an imperfect place.
I've said
that 3 times today. This being the third.
He's your soul animal. Soul animal? Is that the
soul person?
Soul. What is the phrase? He's my soul.
Spirit animal.
Spirit soul animal. I'm such an asshole.
Well, because yours is a pretty bird.
I can't whistle.
Wait, you really can't whistle?
I have to I can't do the finger thing. I don't know. I don't understand.
I've tried. I've seen videos and I still don't understand.
Whoa. There's a little queef on my finger. Speaking of queefing, we got a queefy match right here. So they're still fighting. They bust down the door. They're causing a lot of ruckus. A fracas, a ruckus. I mean, it's everything. They fight back to the ring. So security comes out and they want Mankind out of here because, look, I know it's an Armageddon match. The goal is to kill your opponent, but we got to have some rules here. So.
Put your opponent in the fucking ground, basically, but it's not a buried alive. You have to kill him, but it's not buried alive.
Which, by the way, it's interesting that we had a buried alive match and now we have this match. It's like you would think the buried alive match would be the top of the. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, how many times has Paul, realistically, in the entire career of Undertaker with Paul Bearer by his side, how many times has Paul Bearer betrayed Undertaker?
At least twice. At least twice.
That's what I was thinking, at least. Because this and Kane.
Fake Diesel. Yep. Old Paul Bearer and Fake Diesel. You're never going to look at Fake Diesel the same.
Fake Diesel. By
God. But yeah, I got a lot to say about these security guys. So they come out with, they're all in bright blue shirts. One of them has Zubaz pants on, which is a choice. Can we be professional a little bit?
Can we show some demeanor here?
Put a slack on. Put 2 slacks on. A pair of slacks even.
Multiple pairs of slacks if need be.
I like a good slack. They got Mace. Mace, not the wrestler. They all have Mace. Not Mace. Which I think modern day security can learn from this. These shoddy security guards on Raw nowadays, they're just like, oh, whoa, whoa. It's like a force field around the guy. They're not doing anything.
The security may or may not have died on Monday Night Raw.
Well, they fucking deserved it because they're terrible at their jobs.
Jesus.
Well, they all mace Mankind. And
Which I feel like is excessive. Only one person needed to. I don't even think you needed to.
Yeah, you have 8 guys there. Maybe just, I don't know, all grab them at once.
Pass the mace around. Like, guys, is one man, one very deranged individual, I understand, but for fuck's sake.
And then he's maced, and then they put a straight jacket on him. It's like, at what point are we just torturing the fella?
It's like, I was more interested in that than the actual match. Oh, because wasn't it during this time Taker and the Executioner were outside?
They're lollygagging at the concession area, so they fight to the back. They walk up the stairs, and then it cuts to the ring where they put the straight jacket on Mankind, and then it cuts back to Execution and Take, who are now outside, and you have Executioner rolling down a concrete hill into water. Like, what? What happened? How'd we get here?
Like, when they showed, like, the exterior shot, like, towards the beginning of the pay-per-view, I was like, I kind of want someone to get in the water, not knowing what would happen 4 matches later. But the rolling on the concrete, goddamn.
That was the best part of the match, I thought.
No, honestly, it definitely was. Well, this and then part of the finish.
I think I know what you're talking about. So, when this happened, he rolls down the hill. I'm like, oh, is that how they killed the Executioner off? I guess we're just done here. He drowns. He can't swim. Whatever.
But then he like stands up.
But then, yeah, because it's 2 inches. It's like a fountain outside.
Yeah.
They go back to the ring. Mankind's still on a straight jacket because that's what a straight jacket is. Security. What is security? Security doesn't do anything. I think they're still there, though. Executioner comes running back. So I guess he can swim. Attacks the Undertaker. And they get back in the ring. And Undertaker tombstones him. But I thought there was some pretty good garnish on this tombstone. Why don't you fill in the audience?
The water. So Undertaker lifts up the Executioner for the tombstone. For those who don't know. Tombstone. You are upside down.
69. 96.
69. Standing 69. And as he lifts him up, a shit ton of water, just from one boot, comes out from the Executioner. And that part had me dying. I was like, this is the best part of the match.
Because, like, in theory, it could be like, okay, maybe they did a pre-tape of him rolling down into the water, but nope, he's still moist.
That means he had to get out of the water whilst... Okay, so Undertaker throws him down. Undertaker goes back to deal with Mankind. Executioner's just like doggy paddling in the water hanging out. And he's like, oh shit, I guess I gotta go back. And then just squeaky boots all throughout the fucking arena to get back. And then, boom, immediate tombstone, all the water just gushes out like a little waterfall, and then you lose. Congratulations, Executioner. You did great.
What a way to lose a match. Just
I would have
water
to quit.
works.
I would have to quit wrestling forever.
Is this could be the last of him.
Last match ever. I want it to be.
Let's see.
What a way to go out. Water out the boot.
Water out the boot. Let's see here. 97. Okay, he's there. In your house is time. Okay, it is. At least in WWF, it's his last because he leaves in January.
That's the best. That's the best way to go out.
Man, what a way. What a way. But yeah, so that all happens, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
And I'm just if you're like a fan, you're back, maybe you're at the concession stand, you're maybe trying to buy a corn nut of some sort, maybe a soda pop. And then you turn around and you see this stupid asshole in a mask and a hood go with his stupid boots, and he's just slipping and sliding.
You know what I thought about? When he tumbled down, he probably accidentally waterboarded himself because there was like no like mouth hole. And if there was, I don't remember seeing it, but he probably basically got waterboarded for a hot second.
At least in the does he have? Let's see here.
He has eye
WWF.
holes. That I know.
Imagine if he didn't though.
Actually, that would make it better.
Let's see here. There is a nose hole. It's just the eyes.
I was like, but like, how big is the nose hole? Like, just 2 little slits?
Here it's
I need to see.
we need to
Visual aids. I'm a visual learner.
So he's got like the.
Is that actually what he? I don't remember him looking like that at all. That's crazy.
I don't think he came out with this. This what do you call this? The
scythe.
Scythe executioner on Tumblr. He's on Tumblr.
Cool. He probably blogs crazy shit.
I would imagine so, if he was still alive. But you know.
Well, hey, ghosts can tumble.
Rest in piss, executioner. But anyways, so that happened, unfortunately, and that sets us up nice and tidy for the main event. We got the WWF Championship is on the line. We got the champion Psycho Sid defending against the Hitman Bret Hart. What are your thoughts on Bret Hart? It's like nowadays, like as a person, I guess just overall, Bret Hart.
He despises Goldberg, and I love that about him. Because I also despise Goldberg. Bill Goldberg and I got beef.
Respect Big Bill. Oh, he's not Big Bill anymore.
No, that's a different person.
Big Berg.
Big Berg. Ew.
That would have been, if he was Big Berg instead of Goldberg, he'd be still going today.
No, and the fact that he deadass said he wants one final match, I was like, how about no?
Just one more. Just one more taste. I needs it.
No, he can fuck right off. But like, I respect the fact that any chance Bret Hart gets, he talks mad shit about Goldberg. Bill Goldberg's not even a part of the conversation. He's like, I can't fucking stand Bill Goldberg. And he's I think he says like his full name. He says Bill Goldberg. He doesn't say just Goldberg. That's how you know you really hate somebody. Like, you use their full name all the
Government
time.
Name.
Yeah. Government name.
Surprised he doesn't bust out the middle name of Goldberg.
Are you looking up the middle name?
Yeah, I have to know.
We need to know.
What would you guess?
Or like Matthew or like a Martin. Someone with an M.
Scott. William Scott Goldberg.
William Scott's an actor, isn't he?
Sean William Scott, I think is his name.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Oh, I'm glad you like figured that out though. We're there.
What's his name? Stifler?
Stifler, yeah.
The Rundown.
Dude from, the Rundown's called Welcome to the Jungle in the UK.
Why?
I don't know. I was watching I'm always on TikTok. I was watching a TikTok and it was these 2 guys trying to like guess movies based off of like 3 actors in it. And it was Sean William Scott, Dwayne, and then some other actor in the movie, and they said Welcome to the Jungle, but they showed the Rundown cover and it said Welcome to the Jungle. I was like, whoa, wait, that's weird. And all the comments were like, this is the Rundown ? Because I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Like,
oh yeah, it's a great movie.
And then what's the other one he did around that time? Walking Tall. Oh, what a good one.
I've never seen Walking Tall.
Really? I think you'd like it.
Whenever I see it on TV, I'm like, I'd rather watch The Rundown. And I just watch The Rundown. So.
Well, I think you should check out Walking Tall. Dwayne's a badass with a 2x4.
Jim Duggan?
Yeah, very inspired. Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Duggan. I like it.
Dwayne The Rock Duggan.
He's a menace. Well, there's no 2x4s here. Unless you count Sid.
HBK's there too.
I have so many questions about Jonathan here. So he's got the he comes out, he's like an all black. He has like the black jeans, the black shirt, the black blazer. He's got some scruff going. Hair looking luxurious though. 10 out of 10 hair on the Shawn Michaels.
Oh, 90s Sean fucks.
Oh yeah, he does. You bet your
Yeah,
bottom
he
dollar.
does.
Yeah. The sunglasses. I mean, this is a machine.
Cocky son of a bitch, but I love it.
Oh, he's got every
He's got
pill
every
you
right
can
to be
find
cocky.
inside him. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that too.
he is buzzing like a bumblebee out there.
His insides are vibrating.
Oh. So we're building. I don't know. So this is my first time watching like this era. So I'm not sure where exactly in the timeline we are at. I know at some point Sean, he like loses his smile and then he leaves for a bit. I think we're approaching that kind of approaching DX era Sean, but we're it's like a bridge between that and his, Uber babyface era before that. So it's a very weird kind of him and Brett are mad beef, more beef than a deli shop between him and Brett at this point. And we're
on site.
Still a year away from Montreal, and then Sid's there. He's wet. He's big.
Sid's just there.
I'm a big Sid guy. I mean, he's the man.
So this is also why I like coming on the show, because I like asking you questions that I have whilst watching these things because of stuff that I know. When, in relation to this, does he snap his leg like a fucking pixie stick? I'm sorry, like a glow stick.
That's like 3 or 4 years after this. That's in WCW.
This is post leg break.
No, after. This is pre leg break.
Oh, this is pre leg break. That's what I thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. That's why I wanted to ask.
I want to say it's like 2000, maybe 99 that happens.
God, really? I thought it was, I don't know. Well, I guess in my mind, I thought it was, well, you have the Google right there, Kyle.
My Google is earning its money on this show.
This is why I come on the show. We have to get your Google some money.
Sin was the pay-per-view. When did that happen? I think that was a later one.
Sin. Ooh,
Sin. 2001.
What the fuck? Time's not real. Holy shit.
I guess they only had like one. Yeah, January of 01. Wow. That's like the very end.
Right in the very beginning of January. That sucks.
Imagine breaking your leg. You break your leg, and then the company you broke your leg for goes out of business in 2 months. Fuck me, man.
I would just have to break both my legs.
Just take the other one. Why don't you?
Honestly. Damn, that's crazy. I really thought it was like in the 90s he broke his leg.
No. He's still fresh, still moving and shaking, still two very functional legs here. Well, he's got 2 legs. He's got 2 legs, and does he know how to use them? I don't know. But yeah, it was, I don't know. This is kind of what I expected. You got big meaty Sid, Bret Hart, kind of a styles clash between the two.
That's a move.
That is a move. And I don't know what you make of this one.
I didn't think it was a bad match. Like,
nah.
If Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Mark Merrill weren't on this card, then yeah, this gets match of the night for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's just so much happening. Stone Cold shows up on site because of fuck everybody. HBK gets his hair stuck in the headset a few times, which I thought was just funny.
Yeah.
It's all just like a culmination of, like, we know the real beef is Brett and Sean. Like, we know that. Sid's just here, and he just happens to be champion. Which, like, if I was Sid, I'd be high-key pissed. I'm like, I'm the fucking champion of your company, and you guys are more focused on this bullshit.
So,
yeah, like,
he's champion, man. He doesn't care.
He's champ, and he's just like, I gotta deal with these 2 bitches? Come on.
That title looks super small in his hands, by the way.
Well, because he's a fucking massive man.
He's a big boy.
He's like, what, probably like 6'5"?
I would guess taller. I would guess 6'8",
maybe? I was going to guess 6'7" originally, but I thought that would be too tall.
Psycho Sid. He is 6'9".
Holy shit. Jesus Christ. He's massive.
Sidmond Raymond Eudy.
Ew.
You're not down with the Eudy? She said, ew. How dare you?
I don't know. It's just like that string of names didn't sound good together. I don't know.
Sidmond Raymond Eudy. It sounds nice. It makes my mouth happy when I say that. Sidmond Raymond Eudy.
Well,
It does sound like 3 individual guys.
It's 3 people. It's 3 people on shoulders to create him. It's like fucking kids in a trench coat.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Very elaborate coat. Yeah. Well, but yeah, Sean's here on commentary, and it felt like he was like more of the focal point here. This match is a lot of just like Brett dissecting Sid with all of his, submission holds and excellently executing Sid and all of his various appendages and whatnot. Let's see here. So Sid at one point goes for a power slam on Brett, but Brett counters and sends Sid right into Shawn Michaels, who had gotten on the apron. Or was that before? No, I'm sorry. That did not happen yet. So Brett shoves Sid into an exposed turnbuckle, which Brett had torn off earlier in the match, showing how big and bad Sid is and what he has to do to beat him. Sid throws out a choke slam for a 2 count. They fight to the announce tables. This is the point where Sid pie faces Shawn Michaels, which Shawn doesn't take too kindly to that. I feel like his headset probably gets tangled in his fluffy hair at that point.
The beautiful man.
They get back in the ring, and this is where Brett whips Sid, but Sid counters and whips Brett into Shawn, who knocks Shawn off the apron because he got up there because he was pissed at Sid's. But Shawn gets knocked off the apron. Goes like head first into a chair, by the way. I don't know if you caught that, which was a pretty nasty landing.
Because like he set up the chair and was like, Brett can take it. He was like, you know what? Like he backed up. He was respectful about it. He was like, go ahead, do what you gotta do. Go ahead. Go ahead. And then pie face, he gets the fuck up and he's like, oh hell no, not today. Mm-mm. And that chair that he strategically placed there was his downfall. Like cranium to the fucking chair.
That's the moneymaker too.
That would have fucking hurt.
At least I think it was a cushioned. This is the era of cushioned chairs. I guess at some point,
like the outside was metal of it, like it was just the metal like rim and then the cushion.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd prefer to not be plummeting into a chair generally.
Yeah.
But
on my typical days,
most days,
go head first into a chair.
Unless I'm feeling spicy. But yeah, in the ring, Sid is able to hit the power bomb onto Bret Hart, which looked pretty nice. Old Sydney gets the win, retains his title, and then Bret just kicks the shit out of Shawn after the match, which is fun. Like with the hockey punches, rips Shawn's shirt over his head and starts he just beats the shit out of him and leaves. It's
like, God damn.
Well, a fun way to end the show. You got some hostility brewing between Shawn and Bret. Sid's champion. He's vascular. And that's where we leave it.
Yeah. What a show.
That's time. Right? Because it's the end of it.
It's time, folks.
That was time. It's not time anymore. Time's up. Time's up is probably what I should have.
It's
probably what I should have gone with. I'll cut that out. But yeah, it's time. If you had to give this show a grade of S to F, what do you think you would throw at it?
S to F. Well, sure as shit ain't an S. I'll tell you that right now.
Damn.
But it's also not an F. I've seen worse. WCW.
Yeah.
I feel like I can confidently give this like a B+.
It's pretty generous.
I mean, there was some good, quite a bit bad, but like the good I think overweighs the bad that kind of happened, and like we got some funniness out of it. Water gushing out of a boot, like I'm never gonna see that in a match ever again, probably.
Now that you say that, now it's gonna happen tonight on Dynamite or whatever.
If it fucking happens tonight on Dynamite, I'm psychic and I should go play the lottery.
Please do. I guess, yeah, that the water squirt does add a letter grade to it.
Fake Diesel, fake Razor, the AAA guys for no reason. Like, it's just funny.
This was a very Mad Libs show. It's like, here's throw some masked guys, shirts off, water squirt, fake D's. Yeah, it's
if Mad Libs was a wrestling show.
That's it. But
in your house, it's time.
But yeah, if Mad Libs asked for an adjective for you, would be great. Speaking of great, the ShElite Showcase is pretty great. Y'all should go check her out. Once again, Katie, thank you for coming on, watching some old wrestling and all that shiz. Where can everybody find you, listen to your show, and all of that stuff?
Yeah, well, of course. Pretty Bird. Thank you.
Oh.
Also, you did not call me any potato-related thing this episode.
I've been thinking, because I think I've used all of the potato dishes that I know. Here, do your plugs and I'll look up some potatoes.
Okay. I'm glad we can work this out now.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter, KatieWrasslin13. The link tree in my bio to get everything ShElite Showcase. We typically go live on Twitch, twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase, and youtube.com/ShElite Showcase. Thursdays, 6:15 p.m. EST most of the time, except tonight we're actually going after Dynamite. The occasional Wednesday night show. We do a lot of stuff over there. You can check everything out. Vlogs, story times. Savannah has a show on the channel. We do a bunch of stuff. I'm also always on Smacking It Raw and Getting Offed, so you can check those out as well. I think that's all the plugging I can do for my shows.
You sure? Because I'm okay. Well, thanks for thanks for coming on, Funeral Potato.
Oh my god.
What is a funeral potato?
Yeah, what is a funeral potato?
It is a traditional potato hot dish or casserole that is popular in the American Intermountain West. And it's called funeral potato. It's served at potatoes. What the fuck? Why is it its own?
It's just potatoes in a dish.
But what is it? Okay, it's hash browns or cubed potatoes with cheese, onions, cream soup, sour cream, butter. It sounds like potatoes. I don't know. Like, why are we what is the Intermountain West is probably the bigger question.
We're gonna go down a rabbit hole here.
So this is like Idaho, Utah.
Idaho, famous for the potatoes, of course.
Oregon, Nevada. We'll do a whole other episode on the funeral potato. What did I say?
I thought you said Nirvana. I was like, what?
Oh, I might have. I meant to say Nevada, but you know.
I mean, if you said tomato, potato, it's all the same.
Do you think Kurt Cobain had funeral potatoes at his funeral?
Jesus Christ. Maybe.
Once again, thank you to Katie from the ShElite Showcase for joining me on this episode. Always a good time with Funeral Potato. Go check out the ShElite Showcase and Katie wherever you listen to the podcast, as well as YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff. Find the description for everything you need to follow her. Go give her a follow, a subscribe, a like, all that stuff. Do the same for me. And that leaves us with just one thing to do, and that's to yell at Bartholomew, hit that jingle, you sexy son of a bitch. WCW, ECW, WWF, who's the hardest promotion? Eric or Vince or Paulie? I think we can agree, though, it's mostly shit. Alrighty then. The hardest promotion battle of 1996 continues. If you are watching on YouTube, I'm sharing my screen so you can visually watch along, but if you are in audio land, I will describe this for you. Like I said in the open here, the current score, WWF with 13 points, WCW has 5 points, ECW has 4 points. How are these points gained, you may be asking? Well, we'll look at each promotion, each of the 3 promotions. We see what was the best or the worst from an in-ring perspective, from the roster perspective, and also from the out of ring. We'll get into each individual criteria, but the first criteria is pay-per-view / special event quality. And the promotion with the best overall average grade of their shows from this year gets 6 points. Currently, WWF has that, but let's see if that changes at all with this. So what we do is grade this show. In Your House 12, It's Time. From a scale of S to F, S being one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life, F being a show where I'd rather stick a lava-colored tentacle-shaped dildo in my anus. 3 of them is what I'd rather do. So that's what an F is. So S to F, what are we thinking? I'm thinking at the most it's a C. I'm leaning towards D. I'm thinking maybe like a D plus. Because there was not look. The best thing on this show is Triple H and Mark Mero, which was just okay, and it had a shitty finish. From a storyline perspective, there wasn't a lot of progression. I mean, I guess you're kind of moving along the Shawn and Brett feud. Taker and Mankind are kind of spinning their wheels, it seems like. Flash Funk's here, that's cool, and it's kind of whatever match. The tag team division is in shambles. Yeah, I'm thinking D. I think we threw a D at this one. So we're not ending this this year super strong. We just had World War III from WCW get a D. But let's see what that D gives us here. So we look at each promotion and what they're averaging, and WWF still has the highest average grade at about a C plus or so. So WWF maintains that 6 points for the best overall average pay-per-view grade. This show was not the best of the year, was not the worst of the year, because we've had a few Fs in there, right? So WWF still holds on to the best pay-per-view of the year with WrestleMania, so they get those 2 points. WCW holds on to the worst of the year with Super Brawl, so they maintain that -1 point. So no changes yet. Let's look at in-ring. So our first criteria here is in-ring. So just overall, just based on where we're at here in 96, which promotion has given us the best in-ring product? Now, we are currently tracking WWF, but this show wasn't superb from an in-ring perspective. So the question is WCW or ECW giving us anything better? WCW has some good, I feel like I say this every time. WCW has the cruiserweight division, which is pretty reliably good. Outside of that, not a ton of great in-ring stuff happened. That's not really where their bread is buttered. Is that how you use that phrase? Probably not. And ECW is kind of in a weird... I can't say that there would be any reason to say WCW or ECW is doing any better, because it was a solid show from an in-ring perspective, I guess, right? Nothing really blew me out of the water. I think WWF holds on to this for now. So they maintain that 4 points. Best match of the year, Shawn versus Diesel at In Your House 7. Nothing on this show is better than that. So WWF keeps that 2 points. Worst match of the year, also WWF from In Your House 7. Ultimate Warrior versus Goldust. I mean, that fake Diesel, fake Razor tag team match gives them a run for its money. I think it was just kind of generic and boring more than anything, rather than a bad match. The Armageddon match. Again, the match itself was just a brawl. It wasn't offensively bad, in my opinion. So I think, it's definitely not worse than Warrior versus Goldust. So WWF holds on to that anyways. So they keep that -1 point. Ross, now the next criteria We're looking at the roster and the star power of each promotion. What changes have we seen? Not a lot of shuffling of the roster since we've last looked at this, so I have no reason to really. I guess, Flash Funk and The Rock are there, but they haven't really made any noise yet. Stone Cold is on the rise, but nothing super major has happened with him to where I would say WWF has overtaken this. Because right now we're tracking WCW as the best roster. Just the breadth they have. They have a really dense main event scene, even though it's kind of monopolized by Hogan and all that. But you got your Macho Mans, you got Piper, you got Flair, Luger, Sting. Like, there's a lot of star power there, as well as the cruiserweight division's building itself. You got, DDP's on the rise. Yeah, I think WCW still holds on to the best roster, so they keep that 4 points. Wrestler of the Year, Mankind. So he's losing grip of this. I gotta be honest. I think Starrcade is going to be very telling, because right now, so who is in the running for Wrestler of the Year is basically what I would ask myself. So you got Mankind. You could throw Shawn in there, Shawn Michaels. I don't think Bret Hart's been there long enough this year to be in the running, not over Shawn. But from other promotions, Rey Mysterio, you gotta think about him. I mean, he's just consistently putting out bangers, not only on the pay-per-views, but on the TVs. Just an incredibly influential style. Just a very unique, at this point in 96, you weren't seeing that on mainstream US TV. So Rey Mysterio's got to be in there. Who else? You could throw like a Benoit maybe, or ECW. Doesn't ECW have anybody? You could throw Shane Douglas maybe. I think his lack of in-ring quality probably hinders him there, but the Eliminators. I think I think it's Mankind and Rey Mysterio. I'm gonna be honest. Or Shawn Michaels. I think it's Mankind, Shawn Michaels, Rey Mysterio. I think those are your top three right now. I think we're gonna keep it on Mankind for now. But we'll see how Starrcade pans out. That might be the tipping point for Rey, because Mankind hasn't really done anything of note since the Mind Games match with Shawn. He had an okay match with Taker. He had an appearance on this show. But like I said, they're kind of spinning their wheels a little bit, kind of becoming one note. But we'll keep it with Mankind for now. But that's one that's kind of shaky. That'll be a good one for the finale when I have you guys give your input. See if you agree or disagree. But worst wrestler of the year, Ultimate Warrior. Do we put Fake Razor and Fake Diesel here, like as a tag team? That's something to consider. I might even put out polls, leading up to the finale, but Ultimate Warrior, and I've said this before, the impact that he made on this year was bad, but it was a pretty limited amount of time. It was like March to June or something like that. Like, it was only a few months. So, it was undoubtedly bad, but was the longevity significant enough to warrant a worst wrestler of the year? That's the question. There's other guys in the running. Who are other guys in the running? Maybe Hogan. Maybe who else? Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Who else? Who else is bad? ECW. Anybody bad in ECW's got to be, right? Or is there? Maybe not. I'm sure there's somebody. I just can't think of anybody that would be like offensively bad. Like who's a stinker from ECW? Axel Rotten, maybe? No, he's not that bad. I don't know. Maybe ECW doesn't really have any. Well, again, I guess we'll just keep it Warrior for now because nobody else is really coming to mind. But again, that's maybe something we'll take a deeper dive later down the road. So the last criteria, we're looking at out of ring. So this is the gimmicks, the characters, the promos, the storylines. Best overall, who are we thinking? Currently, we're tracking ECW as the best. I don't think this show would put WWF above them because, again, Undertaker and Mankind still in the same place. The main event scene, you got some movement. You got some seeds being planted with Brett and Shawn. You got Sid being solidified as the top guy. Steve Austin and the Hart Foundation is starting to build. So again, that's something that I don't think is going to get really cooking until like early 97 at least. So at this point in time, I think ECW is still the best. Now we do have the NWO and WCW, which we're currently tracking as the best overall, or the best singular storyline going. Which I think that still holds strong in WCW, so they keep that 2 points. Worst character storyline, Jerry Lawler. I mean, do we throw the Executioner here, huh? It's not going to change the points because it's still going to be WWF, but that's something that might be on the short list of potential winners. But again, like the Executioner, he just made such a small impact, whereas Jerry Lawler had several feuds that were I mean, the Ultimate Warrior and Jake Roberts and just his overall commentary, and like, it's just bad. So I think Jerry Lawler holds on to that for now. So he keeps that -1 point. So no changes to the scoreboard, all that to say. But we have one more show here, Starrcade from WCW. We'll see if that makes any changes to the scoreboard. And even if it doesn't, after the Starrcade episode, which will drop here in a couple weeks from now, so that show or that episode will drop. And then separately, I'll be doing a live show. Not sure exactly when, but it'll be maybe like a week or two after that. We're going to do the finale for the hardest promotion battle of 1996, where we're going to take this, and I'll give more details as we get a little closer. I'll post it on social media as well, but I'm going to allow you guys to send in your input. You can send in video clips, audio clips. You can just send me DMs or leave it in the Discord or whatever it is, right? I'll take all of those inputs. You know, if you send me like a video or an audio thing, I'll play it on the show. Or I'll read your input on the show. Like I said, I'll give more details as we get closer, but I'll let you try to sway me because, I mean, we've been looking at this after every show. So I think we've taken a pretty comprehensive look at this. But maybe I'm wrong somewhere. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's a perspective that I need, and that's what you guys are for. So, but make sure you do that. And yeah, I think that's about all I got for you guys today. That's about all Daddy has for you. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Always a pleasure coming on here and laying my voice inside of your ear canal. And yeah, I think that's where we'll leave it. Appreciate you guys. Love you all. Big old smooches all around. I'm hard.
Yeah. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it. Let's get it started. It's the hardest. Talk around and disregard it. Strip you off the ground, show you what hard is. Standing strong and proud, nothing can knock it.